What's up, everybody? I'm Finn McKenty. This is the Punk Rock MBA. Today, I'm going to show you how to advertise a tour on Facebook. And I am going to do that with a project I'm kicking off right now, which is the Interval Southeast Asia, Australia, and New Zealand tour that starts later this year in 2018. So I'm going to do this like this is not pre-planned or rehearsed or anything like that. I'm going to actually go through this campaign, rolling it out with you, warts and all. So I may make some mistakes here. I may need to maybe a little rough around the edges, but you guys are going to get the actual unedited details here of how I do this stuff every day. And the first thing you want to think about is timing. So I would do these in two phases. And by the way, I have an article where I've written all of this out in more detail. I will link to that in the description. But yeah, so the first thing you want to think about is timing. I would do this in two phases. First, you want to do it when you announce the tour, maybe for a week or two. It depends on your budget, but I would say run it for like a week or two right when you announce the tour, and then do it again maybe in the 5 to 7 days before each show. The reason why is you want to capture you want to do two things. First, you want to just make everyone aware that the tour is happening, and some people will pre-order tickets, but a lot of people are going to wait until the day of the show or a couple days before to order. So you want to drive walk up and those last minute pre-orders. So that's what you want to do in those two phases. So that way you're going to get both the early birds who plan things out in advance, and then you're also going to get the people who do things last minute, which is most people in music. Music people are not big planners. So anyway, that is the strategy there. Those two phases, right when you announce, and then a week or two before each show. What I'm going to be doing now is the first phase of that, which is when you announce the tour. So what you need to do before you are able to do this is you need to sign up for a Facebook ad account. I'm not going to tell you how to do that in this video, but I will link to it in the descriptions. It's not very hard. It takes 5 minutes. All you need is a credit card and you're good to go. So once you are in the ads manager, and so the way to do that, I'll show you where here. So if you are in Facebook, you go over here and you'll see all the different pages that you have here, and you'll see manage ads or create ads. So just click on create ads here, and that will take you to ads manager, and then you can start here. So I'm already logged into the Intervals account here. Aaron Marshall is the Intervals man. So what you want to do is create a new campaign. And so each campaign, I'm going to start over here. Each campaign has a different objective. And I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about what all those mean. If you guys want to know, let me know in my Facebook group. If you have detailed questions about this, join my Facebook group and I can answer all those in detail. But yeah, so for this, what you're going to want to do is traffic, which means clicks. You want people to, basically the objective means, what do you want people to actually do? For example, like, do you want people to message your page? Do you want them to, install your app? Do you want them to comment? In this case, we want people to click on it because we want people to click on the pre-order. So we're going to call it Southeast Asia, New Zealand clicks. Doesn't really matter what you call this campaign. There we go. So then we will continue. So then the way that this works, there's a campaign and then there's ad sets within that, and that is where you do your targeting and stuff, and then there's the actual ad itself. And so I know this might be a little bit complicated, but once you kind of understand how it works in terms of a folder structure, you can see here it's not as complicated as I might think. But so the ad set, do one ad set for each show, because this is where you're going to do your targeting. So I have here all the different dates. We're not going to be able to target China because, as you guys might know, Facebook is banned in China thanks to the communist dictatorship that runs China. But I've got a link to all of the shows here. And here we are. So the first one is Singapore. And so we're going to copy the link. Just Control C here to copy that link. So in Ads Manager, we're going to name each one of these by the date. So this is Singapore. Whoop. So this is Singapore Facebook. So I'm naming it by the city and whether it's running on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And we are going, and then, so we've named it. Now we need to figure out who we are targeting. So there are a couple, you can ignore custom audiences for now. What we need to do is locations. So we're going to type in Singapore. And that's it. So we're going to target the entire country of Singapore because Singapore is very small. It's a little island country. So we're going to just target everybody in Singapore. And we're going to target, let's target 18 to 40. I'm just kind of guessing there. And yeah, so we'll do that. And I'm going to leave it as men and women. If it was in the US, I would just target men because I know from looking at the demographics on these pages that when it comes to like this nerd metal stuff, it's almost 100% male audience. So I would just target men if it was in the US. But for Singapore, I'm going to leave it blank. This is a little bit of a different one than usual. So now we're going to target, so we've targeted people in Singapore, which is 3 million people. But we don't want to target everybody in Singapore, right? We need to narrow it down a little bit. So we're going to target people who like intervals and bands in their genre. So intervals, there we go. And then you can just click here suggestions and it'll tell you, we're going to say periphery, animals as leaders, scale the summit, the contortionist, tesseract, between the buried and me. There we go. That's probably, we can see if there's any other ones. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is probably, we'll say Jason Richardson because he has toured with Jason Richardson before. Let's just leave it at that. And so then usually over here, it'll tell you how many people that audience will be, and you want it to be a few thousand. For whatever reason, it's not showing us how big that audience is. But so what we've done is just target. So for those who don't know, Intervals is an instrumental progressive metal band, and these other bands here, it's like a guitar band basically. And so these other bands here that I am including in the targeting are also like guitar nerd metal bands basically. So you can see here, this is how many people that based on our budget of $20 a day, it is estimating that we'll reach 1,000 people a day. And so, that sounds pretty good to me for now. So this is who we are targeting. People in Singapore who like at least match at least one of the following. So they've got to be in Singapore and they have to like one of these bands. So that's good. There's a lot more options here if you get more advanced, but we're not going to worry about that for now. I would not check this box. And then the other thing is where you are showing your ads. So what I will do here, these are all, so you, by default, automatic placements is checked. Do not do this because these are all the different places that Facebook can run your ad, like, the right-hand column on desktop, the Facebook Marketplace, Messenger. This is all trash. Like, nobody clicks on this shit. Instagram is good, but we're going to do that separately. Nobody clicks on this right-hand column. Nobody click like instant articles. You want just Facebook feeds. And actually, we're going to do it. You can choose to run them just on mobile or mobile and desktop. I am going to leave it on both for this one. You can. If you want to be super good with your budget, I would choose just mobile because typically you'll get cheaper clicks there. But the point here is you don't want to just let Facebook choose the automatic placements because it's going to put your ads in all this like trash ad inventory that Facebook wants you to buy, but it doesn't work. You want to just select Facebook feed because that's the thing that works better than anything else in most cases. So there we go. And we'll choose the daily budget. I'm going to choose $10 a day just for the moment. And then you can choose when these ads start running. So I'm going to have them start running now. And today is August 9th, 2018. And then I'm going to have them run for 7 days. So you'll spend $70. That's per show. So remember, this gets pretty expensive. We've got, how many shows here excluding China? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11. So we're going to be sending, if what did I say there? I forgot already. 11 shows. That's $110 a day if we're spending $10 per show per day. So that gets pretty expensive pretty fast. So keep that in mind. You can ignore the rest of this for now. This stuff can be important, but it's important stuff you don't need to worry about. Just leave it at the default. The main thing you need to understand here is you've got to choose the location, which is going to be the area that the show is taking place. Remember, 1 ad set per show, and you choose the location here. Then you choose the interests here, which I would say is bands in your genre. 10 of them or so should be fine. And then you make sure to only show them in the Facebook feed. So then, and you choose your budget and your schedule here. So that's it. And then we're going to click continue. Now you need to choose which page this is running from. So you guys can see I am on about 500 million pages here for all the different people I work with. Where is intervals? There's intervals. So you choose what page it's coming from, which is going to be intervals in this case. And now you need to actually make the what they call the creative, which is what the ad actually looks like. So here I have all my assets. So I've got an Excel file here, which is this thing here that is a list of all the dates and the links and stuff. And then here I have all the assets that I'm going to use, which is I've got 3 images and a video. And we are going to use all of those. So what Facebook will do, well, let's do this. So we're going to make an ad. And so we're going to let's start with this image here. So we're going to upload the image. And it'll show you a preview here of what it looks like. And in here, the website URL, that's what you want people to click on. We're going to put that here. And now we're going to, so you can choose. So let's say, so here's what I will usually do is, I will say something like, so I'll customize this message for each date. Singapore, I'm coming through in September. Hope to see you there. And I will usually put a link in both the text, get tickets now, and I'll put a little emoji in there. So you can just Google for like whatever emoji you want, right finger emojis, like, so then you just copy that, you basically get tickets now, and then I will include this link as well. So there you go. Now we have our ad, and you can change intervals in intervals September 8th. Let's see what else. What other details? I don't actually know who he's playing with. So intervals. So it doesn't look like. So usually I would include if there's like another band or something like that. I would include that, but in this case there doesn't appear that there is another band, at least on this date, so there's really nothing else to say. And so what I usually include, the EBX live space is the venue. At EBX live space. So I'll include the venue there in the headline. And then, so this is on mobile, which is where you're going to get most of your traffic. So you want to make sure, what you want to make sure here is that all of this looks good on mobile. You can also see desktop, but not that many. The majority of your traffic is going to come from mobile, so you want to optimize for that. So this is the headline, and then we could say in the description, tickets and VIP available now. So you can see this field here is not visible on mobile, but it is on desktop. So there we go. And you can change the call to action, or CTA, to whatever you want. I would say for tickets, I wish there was one that said like get tickets, but there isn't. At least not for this particular kind of ad. So learn more is probably the best one. So that's all there is to it. Now we're going to confirm, and it'll take a minute. And then what we're going to do, so you saw here in this, so there we go. So we've got, so here's, whoops, I don't want to show you how much money Aaron spends on Facebook. So we have our click campaign here, and then within that we have an ad set for Singapore, and within that we have this, so I'll call this orange photo. So this is how Facebook ads are organized. You've got the campaign, and then within that you have the ad sets, one for each show. And then within that, you have all the different ads. So you can have several different ads for each show, and Facebook will pick the one that works best. So that's what I'm going to do here. So we started, I call this one orange photo. You can see we have 3 different photos here and a video. Typically, video is going to work best. So that's what I would suggest you do. But so what I'm going to do is just duplicate this. And so that's just going to bring, so it's going to by default name it orange photo copy. It brings up all the same stuff. And we're just going to go down here to image. We're going to change the image. And we are going to upload a new one here. We'll upload this blue one. And I don't think this is a very good photo, but you never know. This is the point, is you test all this stuff and you let Facebook pick the one that works the best. It'll just automatically choose. So it'll automatically see which one is getting the most clicks, and it will prioritize that one. So you don't need to even think about it. You just throw up a bunch of different versions, and Facebook will pick the best one. So I'll call this one blue bunker photo. I don't think this is a very good photo because you can barely see Aaron, and typically people are the thing that, so typically in ads we respond to images of people more than anything else. But again, you never know. Let's let Facebook decide. You trust the data. Don't try to don't get too smart for your own good. You never know what's going to work. So we've got this one, and I have one more photo. So we'll duplicate this again and go down here again to change image, upload image. And then we've got this other live. This is better. I still don't love this one because you can't see his face. These are just the photos he gave me. Blue live photo. And if I thought these were really bad, by the way, I would tell him, like, hey, these are really bad photos, let's not use these. And we would discuss that. So I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea. I'm not just like, oh, Aaron sent me shitty pictures, but whatever, I don't give a fuck. That's not the case. I don't think these are the best photos, but I don't think they're bad either. So I'm just going to run them and see what happens. If the results are really bad, then I would let him know, hey, this is not performing well, we should try some other photos. So just wanted to clarify that. So, and then I also have this video. So over here, you see it has like image. So you're just going to go down here once you've duplicated it. you're going to go over here to video/slideshow. You're going to select a video, going to upload a video. I just have this little live clip, which I ripped from YouTube of Aaron playing a show in Montreal or something like that. And so what you'll see what we have here, it takes a little while for this to upload and process, but you'll see what we have here is got 3 photos, each of which is fairly different. And then we'll also have this video, and those are all within the same ad set for the same show. And we're just going to let Facebook choose which one of those works the best. We don't need to really think about it any further than that because Facebook is smarter than we are, and it will choose the one that's working the best. So we'll just, they're identical in every way other than the image/video that we've used for each one. So we're just going to give it a minute to do its thing here. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing good. It's 9:34 in the morning and I've been working for 2 hours already. I like to get up early. How about you guys? Are you guys early people or are you late people? I live on the West Coast, so I'm in the past, so I have to get up early. Okay, so then one thing when you use a video, you need to choose a thumbnail. Which here is, so it'll automatically generate these from the frames in the video, or you can upload your own. Again, I'm going to choose this image here of Aaron playing his guitar because I think that's what people will respond to. That's the thumbnail. If people have video autoplay turned off, then they'll see this. So there you go. And so you'll notice, by the way, that this, when it's a video, for some reason, I don't know why, for some reason when it's a video, this line here does show up on mobile, and it didn't with the image. So I don't know why that is, but point is you want to just use this. You want to use this preview pane here to make sure that you know what your ad is going to look like in the wild. And so yeah, there we go. So we've got the video here. I'm going to wait a second for that to publish. And I'm going to call this one video. And then you publish that. Basically save your changes here. So there we go. And now we have Southeast Asia, Australia, New Zealand clicks campaign. We've got this one, which is the location, Singapore, and where it's running. So I put Facebook here, and we could try also running it on Instagram, but what I'm going to do here is duplicate it for the next show, which is in Bangkok, Thailand. But you know what? Yeah, Bangkok, Thailand. That's the next one. So here's what we're going to do. So rather than have to like create all of this over again, because that's a pain in the ass, what I am going to do is just duplicate this. And everything is going to stay the same. So that's going to copy all these ads. So there's the folder here of the ad set, and then within that, it's just going to copy all of those ads that I already made. So I don't have to redo those. So we're going to call this Bangkok FB, and it's going to be all the same. So it copies over the budget and the schedule and all that stuff. And it's going to, the targeting is the same. The only thing we need to change is the location. So now, instead of the entire country of Singapore, because remember, Singapore is a tiny little island country, so we can target the whole country. I would not usually do that. This time, we are going to target the city of Bangkok, Thailand, and then it needs to, and then it's going to say what radius. So the default is 25 miles, but so here it says that's only 5,000 people. That's a little bit low. I'm going to change that to 50 miles. And man, it's still hardly got anybody else. So you usually, there's no real rule there, but usually you want that to be in the tens of thousands. And my kind of rule of thumb is that the more remote the location is, the farther people are willing to travel for it. So like if it's Boston, people are not going to travel for a show because they're spoiled and they get lots of shows. But if it's I don't know, Toledo, Ohio, or Fresno, California, where there are less shows, people will travel further there because, they have less shows to choose from. So what I'm actually going to do is I know the city Pattaya is a popular tourist destination. I'm going to add Pattaya in there, but man, it only got another 100 people in there. So I don't know. This one's going to be a tough one just because there really are not that many people. I'll show you a different, let's just for contrast here, let's change. So I have these 10 bands or whatever in here. Let's see how many people in Boston, 25-mile radius of Boston, like these bands. Okay, that's still pretty low. Let's say a 50-mile radius of Boston. 7,000 is lower than I expected. You can't trust this all the time. Sometimes this is a little bit lower than reality, but so you can already see Boston has, even though Bangkok is way bigger than Boston, there's less people that are into metal there. No surprise there. Let's see what it would be in Los Angeles, just for shits and giggles, so you guys can see. So there we go. 50-mile radius of LA. It says there's 14,000 people that like it. That's low. This is not right. There's more than 14,000 people that like these bands in LA. There's something wrong here. But anyway, you get the idea. We're going to change this to Bangkok again. And we're going to do a 50-mile radius. And then we are going to publish it. Give Facebook a minute to work its magic here. You can see it's doing its thing. And I will do one more here again, just so you guys see how this works. So we have Bangkok, we have Singapore. The next show is Taiwan. Now, Taiwan actually, copy this guy. So Taiwan, although it is technically in China, any of you Taiwanese or Chinese people will know the deal here. Taiwan is technically part of China as far as the world is concerned, but they actually have their own government, and Facebook is not banned in Taiwan. So we are able to target people in Taiwan, although we're not able to in China. So what city is this? Probably in Taipei, I would imagine. Yeah, Taipei. So we are going to target people in Taipei. 1,500 people. Wow, that is tough. So that, let's see. That's tough. Why is it not showing me the radius? Oh, okay, here we go. We want city, and we're going to do 50 miles. That's tough, only 2,300 people. This is probably going to be a tough tour because there's not a lot of people there, and there's this other city, Taichung, but that's like 100 miles away. So what I would do is, if we weren't getting a lot of sales here, I would go back on that second round that I said I was going to do, and I would broaden the targeting to maybe include Taichung or something. See, in a country like Taiwan that doesn't get a lot of tours like this, I could see people maybe traveling that far. But for now, let's just leave it in Taipei, 50-mile radius of Taipei, and see what happens. So again, this all stays the same. This all stays the same. The placement, the budgets, that all stays the same. And we're just going to publish that. So all I would do is just go through for every show on this tour and make an ad for it. So what I'm going to do is color code these here so that I'll mark the ones that I've done. And I'm just going to go down this list. I won't bore you guys with the details. But I'll do one for Australia just so you can see that, because that one might behave a little bit more normally than these ones in Southeast Asia. So this one here, let's do this show in Perth. Oh, I forgot something. I'm really stupid. I need to change the details on these, on the ads. So what you'll do is just select all of these and edit them. And what it'll do is it'll allow you to edit the it'll allow you to edit the text on all of these all at once. So obviously this is for Bangkok, but we don't want to, you want to duplicate everything, but you don't want people in Bangkok to be getting messaging about Singapore, right? So you want to change that. Bangkok, I'm coming through in September. Hope to see you there. That can stay the same. This is the link. So we're going to go here, get tickets now. We're going to change that. And we're going to change that. The website, the URL that we want them to go to. And then in, oh, so it doesn't, okay, this is an interesting one. Let's skip this for now. So we've got it. So I told you I was doing this live, and that it might be a little bit, might run into some hiccups because of that. That's one of them. So it in a little tidbit, well, I don't know, very briefly, I know in some parts of Southeast Asia, they just use Facebook for everything. They don't have websites. That's an example here. And Facebook won't let you click, it won't let you use a Facebook URL as the destination for this ad. And so we're going to have to figure out a workaround for that. But I'm going to skip that for now because I don't want to bore you guys with it. So we'll version this out for Taipei. So, okay, so here we are. So as a reminder, what we did, we clicked on, so we've got our clicks campaign. We've got an ad set for each show. We go into Taiwan. We've selected all of them and click edit. That will allow us to edit the text for all of these ads all at once. And we will say, Taipei, I'm coming through in September. Hope to see you there. We're going to paste in the URL. And we're going to paste in the URL here. And we will change the dates here. So that is live at the wall on the 12th. So we'll say September 12th at the wall. And then we will publish it. So it'll take a minute to do its thing there. And then we will have ads just for Taiwan. So we created them for Singapore, and then we just duplicate it for every city. It's doing its thing here, being a little bit slow today. It's not good for video. Facebook, come on, get your act together. You're making me look bad on my goddamn YouTube channel. What's wrong with you, Facebook? Okay, there we go. It's done. So we can check our work here. Well, so what you can do here, if you go to any one of these and you can click on view charts, sorry, not that. You can click on edit, and then you go up here in the preview pane and you go see Facebook post with comments, and it will open in your browser here, and you can actually see the thing live on Facebook. I don't know why it's being so slow. Okay, so there we go. This is what our ad looks like. I like to just test these things to make sure everything's cool. Looks like it is. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so that's all there is to it. You're just going to do that for each one of these dates. Again, just make sure you go through and fix. I'm going to turn this one off for the moment since the copy is fucked up. But there you go. And so I'm going to run these for 7 days. And then after that, I will check in with Aaron. I'll say, hey, we ran these for 7 days. How are ticket sales looking? And he'll go, well, this is looking great in this city, in this city, in this city. It's a little bit slow in this one and this one and this one, so let's put a little bit more money into those. And then we'll just kind of work together on that. So there you go. That is how I advertise tours on Facebook. I've done this. I'm doing it right now for intervals. Obviously, I've also done it for Periphery and A Day to Remember and Self-Help Fest and I think Issues. there's an article which I will include in the description that has like all of this in written form if you want to look at it for that reason. If you want to look at it in that format for some reason. So there you go. If you have any other questions about this, let me know in the comments. Definitely join my Facebook group. That's a great place to get more detailed feedback on this stuff. And yeah, I hope you found this helpful. I know it's a little bit detailed, but feel free to rewatch it. Again, this is how I actually do it. No bullshit. This is how I'm actually doing it with real money for a real tour. You guys are getting an inside look at that. So let me know if this is helpful or informative or if it works for you. And if you like this, please subscribe to the channel. That's the #1 thing I would love for you guys to do. If you have not subscribed, or if you have already subscribed, or for some strange reason you do not want to subscribe, I don't know why, but if you don't want to subscribe, at least like the video, share it with a friend, comment, whatever you can do to help spread the word would be very much appreciated. I'm Finn McKenty. This is the Punk Rock MBA, and signing off for now, but I will see you next time.